This was an incredible rescue, and the video of it has gone viral.
Sure has, rightfully so if you see it. Mesa firefighter divers jump into a canal and pull this woman out of that submerged car. She was able to stay alive in an air pocket in the car.
Well, every time I see this, it gives me goosebumps here. And just knowing what happened. So we've gotten a few details of exactly what happened and the quick thinking, firefighter and what he did. But we are going to hear from them in a live news conference coming up here in about 7 or 8 minutes. We're going to carry that whole thing for you live. Don't go anywhere.
Incredible images and videos following the monsoon activity across the valley.
Many will agree the most incredible video to surface is that of this Mesa rescue. A woman was saved from a car that was completely underwater. Team 12's Rachel Cole joins us now with this miraculous story.
Guys, we had a chance to speak with Ladder 201, the crew who was able to pull off this incredible rescue, and they say calculated risks are necessary in order to save lives. The clip has been viewed nearly 200,000 times. The first responder in it, Mesa firefighter Kyle Kubal.
We didn't have a lot of hope at the time, but it was still our job to go down and try to find out.
You see him literally jump into action by jumping into the canal where the car was submerged.
At that point, I kind of thought that I was more going to be recovering a body. So I had reached down, tried to unbuckle the seatbelt, and that was when somebody grabbed my hand.
The result, a miraculous rescue of this woman who, without the help of multiple players, would have drowned.
Oh, you really have to get out of the car.
The woman was able to call 911 for help.
Are you in the canal? Ben.
Dispatchers Julie and Monica fielded more than 370 calls in just 2 hours, including that call from the woman inside the car.
We literally went from being on that call and trying to worry about saving this woman's life to the phone going dead and hanging up, taking a deep breath, and then answering a tree that fell over a car.
The efforts didn't stop there. This couple saw the car underwater and called for help.
I was freaking out. I was worried. I felt helpless watching that vehicle go under, knowing that there was somebody in there, and it felt like it took forever for emergency to get there, but thankfully they did get there when they did.
The life-saving rescue taking just seconds, even though to Kubal it felt much longer.
All I was concerned about was just letting her know she was okay, and then making sure there was nobody else inside the vehicle.
Just incredible to hear from all of these heroes who came together to save this woman's life. In Mesa, Rachel Cole, 12 News.
Believable.
The dramatic rescue that everybody's still talking about caught on camera.
Yeah, Mesa fire crews pulling that woman out of her car as it was sinking in that canal during Monday's monsoon storms.
Yeah, ABC 15's Jamie Warren talked to the heroes who made that rescue possible.
This water is still very deep, but this is exactly where firefighter Kyle Kubal jumped on in. In fact, we could still see the tracks from when they pulled that woman out.
I went in from the front passenger seat.
Kyle Kubal with the Mesa Fire Department says he didn't think twice. Was it scary at all?
No.
He climbed down a ladder and into this sinking car, reaching into the driver's seat.
I was expecting to find a body.
But instead,
And that's when she reached down and grabbed my hand.
that woman was alive. This video capturing the moment Kubal brings her above water. But before help arrived,
It's almost up to your neck.
that woman calling 911 from inside her car, telling dispatchers she can't swim.
Do you have your windows rolled up? Oh my God!
She started giving me different locations as to where she was at.
But this couple
We were the first ones to arrive on scene there.
happened to drive by and see the car. They also called 911 and gave an accurate location, ultimately leading crews to the right place.
It was just a phone call, and I feel amazed that I'm just thankful that I happened to look over and see that.
Just in time. In Mesa, Jamie Warren, ABC 15, Arizona.
I mean, if you don't have chills right now.
Unbelievable.
This is incredible. This story just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Obviously, the woman was pulled out alive. We are working to get her official condition this morning. As for how she ended up in the canal, police tell us she turned onto the canal bank. She thought it was the street. You can see how that could be confusing.
Yeah, well, when she realized it wasn't, she then tried to turn around. That's when she actually went in. So many acts of heroism, though, to bring her back up to the surface. Just amazing.
All right.
We won't soon forget Monday's miracle in Mesa. During the storms, a woman somehow surviving after her car goes underwater in a canal off the 202 near Alma School. A firefighter pulling her to safety, and tomorrow morning we plan to be at the Mesa fire station as the crew involved in this rescue talks about it publicly for the very first time.
The monsoon rescue of the week just got even more interesting as we now hear from the swift firefighter who saved a woman from her sinking car after her panicked call to 911.
It's almost up to your neck. I cannot see. Do you have your windows rolled up? Oh my God!
I thought I was going to be pulling her out initially before I knew she was alive. I had reached in to undo her seatbelt, and that's when she reached down and grabbed my hand.
Firefighters got to this Mesa Canal just in time, thanks to others who called 911 and gave them the exact location. The woman told dispatchers repeatedly she can't swim, so every second counted.
Only on ABC.
Is a danger when those monsoon storms hit. Our canals turning into raging rivers, and one woman right here, she learned that firsthand and lived to tell the tale. We still cannot believe that video of the water rescue, even after seeing it over and over these past few days. All new at 11 o'clock, our own Jamie Warren got to meet the heroes behind this miracle in Mesa.
Firefighters here at this station describe the moments they got in their trucks and rushed to that canal, not knowing what they would find. This is the dramatic video. You see the car underwater, then crews pull a woman who's alive out to safety. For the first time today, we hear the 911 call.
Is it Alma School? Is there another cross street? What business are you nearby?
In it, you hear dispatchers ask if she can get out of the car. The woman in the car says she can't and that the water is coming up and she can't swim.
As the water's rising, you can hear it flowing in her vehicle. Her cell phone goes dead at that point.
It was definitely a scary situation for both of us, just knowing that we might have lost someone on the phone and praying that the units get to her in time.
Once the fire department was able to locate that woman, a member of their crew jumped in the water, not knowing if she was still alive. Thankfully, she was and was taken to the hospital. That firefighter says he's not a hero. He was just doing his job. In Mesa, Jamie Warren, ABC 15, Arizona.
And the past few days have also been very busy for utility.
Do you guys have any hope that someone was actually alive in that car, submerged in the water?
Other than kind of the comments that we'd gotten on the way there, we didn't know for sure. By the time we'd gotten there, it had been quite a while. We'd been responding from a call on the other side of the city. So we didn't have a lot of hope at the time, but it was still our job to go down and try to find out.
When you're feeling around in there, sticking your, what size shoe are you?
10.
It's just sticking your size 10 in the window of this car, and someone grabbed, I mean, what goes through your head at that point?
So at that point, I kind of thought that I was more going to be recovering a body. So I had reached down, tried to unbuckle the seatbelt, and that was when somebody grabbed my hand.
Could you see her, or was she completely submerged?
No, the entire car was underwater, so I couldn't see inside.
Okay, so I know you're a firefighter. This is your job. You're not thinking any type of emotion. But when you feel that body, when someone grabs you and you're undoing that seatbelt, what is going through your mind at that point? You must be breathing a sigh of relief.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a shock. I didn't necessarily expect that, so it was a little, I don't know, it just caught me off guard, I guess.
How delicate is that situation when you have maybe a lifeless body or somebody who's completely panicked to carefully get her out of the water so that you guys can treat her on scene?
I would say that I wasn't being careful about much. That was my first time personally pulling a person out of a sunk car in a canal. So I just grabbed her and started pulling. I wasn't really thinking. Just kind of started.
You just wanted her out of there.
I just wanted to get her out.
Did she respond to you right away when you get her out of the water? Is she coughing? Yeah, she's...
Yeah, once I was able to kind of get her up onto the ladder and turn her over, all I was concerned about was just letting her know she was okay, and then making sure there was nobody else inside the vehicle. And she was able to tell me that.
Did it feel like forever that you're fishing around for someone, some kind of sign of life?
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't seen the portions of the video of that, but it definitely felt like I had been inside that car for quite a while before I actually found her, which I'm sure to her felt probably even longer. So.
Well, that video has been seen almost 200,000 times, and it was a matter of seconds that you were able to get her out of there and pull her to safety. So, remarkable job. I mean, you said it was the first time. I mean, obviously,
responding to the crew and you guys reacting so quickly, I mean, is that just like total instinct, or you just?
Well, I work with the best crew in the entire city, ladder 201 B shift. The 3 guys that I'm there with, I mean, my captain told me that it was the right thing to do, so I knew it was safe and it was the right thing to get in there. My engineer came up with the plan, and I knew that was the best plan. And then I had my partner there, and I knew that no matter what happened, he was going to be able to get me out if anything would happen.
You never questioned your own safety or even thought about it, it doesn't seem.
It was just doing kind of what we do.
Impressive to see the power of that water. Scene, thank you. We are now hearing the dramatic 911 call made by a woman trapped in a canal on Monday as monsoon storms flooded areas in Mesa. Carissa Planow tells us now about the race to rescue her.
When the woman called 911 as water was filling up her car, dispatchers couldn't find out exactly where she was. They say the driver still believed she was on the road.
Just hang tight. We've got coming. We've got everyone coming to help you. I just need you to be strong, okay?
The frantic 911 call dispatchers had to quickly decipher.
She was describing that the water was coming up to her neck. And we said, there's no way you could be on the road.
You could hear the water rising.
Are you in the canal, in the water canal?
Mesa fire crews find the car underwater near Alma School in the 202.
I just started rolling my camera.
Merrill Brimley lives nearby. He captured the footage of the dramatic rescue. Here you see firefighter Kyle Kubel dive underwater before popping back up with the woman in his arms.
You don't get to witness too many miracles in your life, and to see that one happen in real time was really cool.
Yeah, it was a shock.
Kubel reflecting on his search for a survivor.
It definitely felt like I had been inside that car for quite a while before I actually found her, which I'm sure to her felt probably even longer.
Video from another bystander shows crews treating the woman before rushing her to the hospital.
Once I was able to kind of get her up onto the ladder and turn her over, all I was concerned about was just letting her know she was okay.
Kubel and the rest of Ladder 201 dismissing the term hero today. Saving lives is all in a day's work.
This is our job. It's what we do.
In Mesa, Carissa Planow for Arizona's Family.
Boy, that entire ladder crew did their jobs very well. Congratulations to them for the very latest on our summer.
We've been sharing this miraculous story with you all week. The team who rescued a woman who was trapped inside of a car that was submerged underwater in a Mesa canal got to share their stories yesterday morning. Police say the woman, a 71-year-old Goodyear resident, was in the middle of a massive rainstorm and she tried to turn around, but her car ended up inside of that canal. You can see that video there on your screen. The fire captain on scene hatched a plan to lower their ladder down into the car, and Kyle Kubel went in after her.
So I had reached down, tried to unbuckle the seatbelt, and that was when somebody had grabbed my hand. Once I was able to kind of get her up onto the ladder and turn her over, all I was concerned about was just letting her know she was okay, and then making sure there was nobody else inside the vehicle. And she was able to tell me that.
Well, the woman is now recovering, and fire crews believe she was underwater for 5 to 10 minutes.
A news conference with the woman who was pulled out of that flooded canal. Take a look.
Citizens of the city of Mesa, as a collaborative group, to be able to give insight into this situation that happened Monday evening with regard to the vehicle into the canal. Without further ado, I would like to bring up, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Forrest Smith. I'm a deputy chief with the Mesa Fire Medical Department, and I will be passing the microphone over here to Steve Berry, who's a media detective for the Mesa Police Department.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Again, as Forrest said, this is a great collaboration of a group of people that are sitting here next to us today to bring resolution and safety to one of our citizens in need. Just to give a little bit of perspective, I know most of you have not, I don't know that many of you have heard the tape yet, but I'm going to give you about a 30-second snippet of the tape, the 911 call that came in. This is from actually inside the car, the woman herself calling in and speaking to one of the public safety dispatchers.
Okay, I'm not sure that's a good location. Are you sure? You said Alma School. Is there another cross street? What business are you nearby? Okay, can you get out of your vehicle? Yes, we want to need you to get out of the car. I need to get your location also. Alma School, Rio Salado, or Alma School, Longmore. Where are you at? Yeah, that's Alma School in Wanda. But if I get okay, Alma School in Wanda. Okay, I need to try to get your location right now.
As you can hear there, it's difficult. Obviously, we have some language issues that we're dealing with, but everyone remains calm, which is important in this situation. But you can clearly hear her say that she can't get out of the car, the water's coming up, and she can't swim. And that really kind of sets the stage for the story that you're about to hear today. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the time back over to Forrest.
Okay, as Steve mentioned there, and as you know, what we want to do is give you a big picture view of what happened that night and what transpired. Initially, as you heard from the call coming through, we obviously had somebody who was in a great deal of distress, but with knowing that we had somebody in distress there and trying to figure out where that person is at, there's another part of the system that came into play here, and it was the initial call. It had to also take somebody out there who happened to be in the right place at the right time to make this call, to make the 911 call that activated the system that also gave us an opportunity to come out and help this person. So if I could bring up to the podium Jason Martin and Nikki Cortez. Jason and Nikki are going to give a brief synopsis of what they experienced that night.
Good morning. So we were driving together down Alma School, and as my fiance here was driving, I happened to look over to my right, and I saw a vehicle in the canal. I told him quickly. He turned around as quick as he could, and I called 911, gave her all the information that I could, and we waited what seemed like forever, but thankfully they got there in time. So.
That wouldn't have been possible without you. She gave the 911 instructions very clear and very calm. She didn't panic at all. If she didn't spot the car, who knows what could have happened to the lady inside the vehicle.
Definitely didn't feel calm. It was scary.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Talking to Nikki, I just have to quote what she said earlier. She said, all I did was just make a call. But as you'll see, a simple call what that was in her mind. Now, if I could bring up Monica and Julie, they're part of the Mesa Police Department and the Mesa Regional Dispatch Center, and they're going to give some insight to what they saw. Again, as Steve mentioned earlier, we're going to give you copies of the full 911 call that came from within the vehicle. Thank
you. Good morning. I'm Monica Payne. I work for Mesa Police, and this is
Julie Briones. I work for Mesa Fire, Mesa Regional Dispatch Center.
During the evening of the storm, we had a lot of calls, and our communications 911 was ringing off the hook. And on this evening, we got a call from Miss Fan saying that she was in trouble, and I tried to find the location for her. And for any emergency, the biggest thing is the location. And she gave me 3 different locations, but we were able to find where she was at. I brought Julie on the phone with me for fire dispatch, and she'll tell us her part of the story.
When Monica brought the caller on the phone with me, it was clearly there was a language barrier there, and I was struggling to get a location from her. And Monica and I were going back and forth because she kept giving 3 different locations where the caller said she was, and that she was underwater in a canal, but she was in the intersection of Alma School and Rio Salado. Well, I knew that there was a water rescue working north of there, but she kept insisting she was in the intersection. So I entered another call for service. We had trucks going to that location at the time, and we were still struggling with finding out where she was because of her phase 1 phone. It wasn't, it pings a tower and it gives a very large location. There's no way to pinpoint where the caller's at. So that was a struggle with locating her anyhow. And basically I asked her, we confirmed that she was in the canal, in the water, and we could hear the water rising, and you could actually hear it flowing around her. And I asked her if she had her seatbelt on. She did. I asked her to remove her seatbelt. She confirmed that she could not swim, so I couldn't ask her to get out of the vehicle. We were kind of not sure what to do at that point. We were just praying that help could get there to her quickly. And As the water's rising, you can hear it flowing in her vehicle. Her cell phone goes dead at that point. We confirm how close our trucks are. We hang up and move on to the next 911 call after that.
So it was definitely a scary situation for both of us, just knowing that we might have lost someone on the phone and praying that the units get to her in time, and that
thankfully we have a good working rapport, and I was grateful that it was Monica on the phone with me and that we were able to work through this together.
Yeah, definitely. I think we really did. Julie called me in the call to assist, and knowing that, you know, she had her guys going and we had our PD on the way, and that just knowing that help is on the way is the comfort that we had that night. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. As they talked about, and what you saw right there was a collaboration between the police department and the fire and medical department from the dispatch standpoint, but there's also the collaboration that happens on a regular basis on scenes, car accidents, fires, which we're working with the police department on a regular basis. But we also saw that on this incident, we had the Mesa Police Department on scene there as well. Typically, they're giving us intel, giving us other information, and helping us locate vehicles. So police department had a huge presence in the field as well. But also, one of the things that we typically see and what people will see is we'll go online, and we all have social media accounts where we happen to catch that one video that tells a story. It's an image that captures the moment. It's that image that really captivates and catches our attention. And a person who was there at a time, I would have to say at the right time, to be able to help tell our story and to be able to share the gravity of this situation was Merrill Brimley. Merrill, would you please come up? Merrill captured the video that you've all seen on social media, of course, with our local media outlets as well. Merrill? Thank you.
So that day that it happened, I happened to be at home. I live a couple of blocks just south of the canal, and I heard the fire trucks going. It was interesting. I heard a lot of fire trucks going, and I think they actually were responding down to a freeway accident or something. And then I heard a second set of fire trucks go by, and then the sirens stopped. So I knew they were close by. So I've grown up living in the Mesa Fire Department. My father was a captain for so long, and I've lived and bred the fire department. And so I quickly get in my car and I go down there, and I get there and I can see the Mesa police, I can see the fire department doing their job, and I just happen to be there and pull out my phone as they're going in there. And the Mesa Fire Department did a heck of a job. They did a great job getting in there and getting the water. And you know, I witnessed as they were trying to determine if she was alive or not. And as they pull the door open and the one fireman puts his hand in there and he's saying not viable, and then all of a sudden I can only imagine she grabs his arm or something and he says viable, and his instincts were quickly to jump into that car, which I don't know if that's protocol or not, but he jumps in the car and pulls her out. And as I'm filming this, I see her coming out and her arms moving, and I thought what a great sight that was to see that she was moving. And then the care that they took to get her up on the bank and to ensure that nobody else was in the car was just really, really cool. It was cool to see
All right, we're gonna break
the Mesa
right
Fire
now,
Department
back in
and the
2
Mesa
minutes.
Police Department working hand in hand to...
All right, back out to that Mesa news conference.
Basically how this played out. So, Dean, if you want to talk about the plan you guys came up with.
Yeah, so obviously in an ideal world we would have had special operation crews on scene. Our team was already tied up on a heavy rescue on the other side of town, so we were relying on our automatic aid partners to assist us. This call did not allow for that to take place. We needed to act quicker than that. Again, I carry some basic equipment with me. I was able to bring in the Ladder 201 crew here, outfit them with the equipment that I have, develop the game plan, and then they actually saw the plan through. And they were the ones that made it all happen. And so kudos to these guys here. They did great.
Guys, thank you very much. All right, thank you very much for that perspective. And again, as you all saw in the video, you know, we're a 24-hour, 365-day-a-year operation, and well, 6 on leap year, and we are always ready to go. And whether or not, you know, if we have the technical rescue team or we have our crews are in the front line out there to make it happen, that's what we saw this last Monday. And so I want to bring up the crew of Ladder 201 B shift. We've got Captain Casey Russell. I've got his engineer Tristan Westmoreland. I've got Kyle Kubal and other, as well as Adam Sutter here. Gentlemen, if you mind coming up. Oh, that mic's going to be the thing. So, Captain Russell.
So I can just give, I kind of touch on what everybody else has already. Kind of kudos goes out to everybody that worked with this, starting from the dispatcher to citizens that were on scene, made that call, and then the way our crew worked together, I think everything went pretty smooth as far as not having to over-communicate what was going to happen. We knew there was somebody in the vehicle. I had to give very little assignments to my crew as far as what we were going to do. We got a ladder in quickly. Firefighter Kubal was very quick to say he would be willing to go in. That said, I think any of my crew members would have been happy to do that the same. The only thing we stressed was not to get too far in until he did find the victim, and he did find that she was viable. So we gave the order to go inside, and luckily the outcome was what it was, that she came out, and hopefully she's doing well.
Thank you very much, guys. And again, we're going to have an opportunity for one-on-ones after we have this portion of the event. Gentlemen, thank you very much. All right, I'd also now like to bring up to the podium Assistant Deputy City Manager, or excuse me.
All right, kudos again to the Mesa Fire Department for their actions on Monday to get that woman out, which is just amazing. So what we're going to do is we have a reporter there. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up for you. You can continue to watch it live right now on News Now. You go to our Facebook page and or our web page, and you can go ahead and continue to watch this live, and then we'll have a full wrap-up tonight. We have Fox 10 News now starting at 4 o'clock. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10.
We'll have it all on for you.
We'll be right back.
Well, the video went viral. That's fine and good. But this was a life and death moment you're looking at. Heroes in action, rescuing a Valley woman out of a car. She was down to her last gasp of air. She was submerged in a Mesa Canal. According to police, she was in the middle of a massive rainstorm, tried to turn around near the wash, and her car toppled into the canal. Fox 10's Anita Roman with her remarkable story and the never-before-heard call to 911.
Well, nearly a dozen people, from civilians to 911 dispatchers to the crew here at Ladder 201, were instrumental in this rescue. And today we're hearing their stories.
My car is stuck in the water. I cannot drive.
The voice on the phone, obviously stricken with fear.
Where are you at? I think I am Elma School.
The 911 operators desperate to get the woman help.
She insisted through the whole call that she was in the intersection.
Oh my God! Can you get out of the car? You really have to get out of the car.
And you could actually hear the water coming up. We could hear the water flowing in her vehicle.
A press conference was held today. Julie Bryans, Monica Payne were there. They were on the line with the driver, doing what they could to get firefighters to the canal. Nikki Cortez and her fiancé Jason Martin were on scene doing the same thing.
He turned around quickly and I dialed 911.
We wanted to get in the vehicle. I have a small rope in the car, but the way the current was going, it was very risky.
I witnessed as they were trying to determine if she was alive or not.
Merrill Brimley shot the video that has since gone viral. It was about 4:15 Monday during the monsoon, the floodwater in the canal rising quickly. The firefighters who responded worked even faster.
So I had reached down, tried to unbuckle the seatbelt, and that was when somebody had grabbed my hand.
Kyle Kubal is the hero who went in after the woman. Kubal says his captain came up with a plan to lower their ladder down to the car and assured him it was safe, the only thing to do.
I was able to kind of get her up onto the ladder and turn her over. All I was concerned about was just letting her know she was okay, and then then making sure there was nobody else inside the vehicle. And she was able to tell me that.
Everyone involved knew this was a race against time, one they're thankful they were victorious over, as is, no doubt, the woman behind the wheel. Well, the woman who was rescued, identified only as a 71-year-old Goodyear resident, said to be recovering today. Anita Roman, Fox 10 News.
Fire crews believe she was in that canal for 5 to 10 minutes. This particular crew from Ladder 202, they were the first ones to respond, and because of their technical rescue team, since it was out on another call during that rescue, they were the ones who had to pull off the miracle. And they did.
Just hang coming. We've got everyone coming to help you. I just need you to be strong, okay? Just hang tight for just a few minutes.
Pretty desperate and frantic, that 911 call made by a woman trapped inside her car Monday when she somehow wound up in this canal in Mesa. And today we heard from everyone who played a part in that dramatic rescue, including the firefighter who pulled her to safety. Carissa Planup shows us what he had to say.
When firefighters arrived, they found a car underwater in this canal, but no signs of life. One of the firefighters goes up to the car, uses his foot to feel around the inside until somebody grabs his leg.
In this video, you see Mesa firefighter Kyle Kubel dive underwater to unbuckle the seatbelt before popping back up with the woman in his arms. His crew pulling him and the woman back to the canal bank with a tether cord. Kubel says finding someone alive in that car caught him off guard, but his training kicked in and he wanted to get her out as fast as possible. The rescue unfolds pretty quickly in this video, but Kubel says it felt like forever.
I haven't seen the portions of the video of that, but it definitely felt like I had been inside that car for quite a while before I actually found her, which I'm sure to her felt probably even longer.
Kubel dismissing the term hero today. He says he and the rest of Ladder 201 were simply doing their job. In Mesa, Carissa Planup for Arizona's Family.
Just hang coming. We've got everyone coming to help you. I just need you to be strong, okay? Just hang tight for just a few minutes.
Unreal footage into our newsroom. We're now hearing the dramatic 911 call made by a woman who somehow wound up in this Mesa Canal on Monday.
So it happened during that powerful monsoon that swept through the area. Carissa Planup explains the crazy rescue.
When the woman called 911 as water was filling up her car, dispatchers couldn't find out exactly where she was. They say the driver still believed she was on the road.
Just hang coming. We've got everyone coming to help you. I just need you to be strong, okay?
The frantic 911 call dispatchers had to quickly decipher.
She was describing that the water was coming up to her neck. And we said, there's no way you could be on the road. You could hear the water rising.
Are you in the canal, in the water canal?
Mesa fire crews find the car underwater near Alma School in the 202.
I just started rolling my camera.
Merrill Brimley lives nearby. He captured the footage of the dramatic rescue. Here you see firefighter Kyle Kubel dive underwater before popping back up with the woman in his arms.
You don't get to witness too many miracles in your life, and to see that one happen in real time was really cool.
Yeah, it was a shock.
Kubel reflecting on his search for a survivor.
It definitely felt like I had been inside that car for quite a while before I actually found her, which I'm sure to her felt probably even longer.
Video from another bystander shows crews treating the woman before rushing her to the hospital.
Once I was able to kind of get her up onto the ladder and turn her over, all I was concerned about was just letting her know she was okay.
Kubel and the rest of Ladder 201 dismissing the term hero today. Saving lives is all in a day's work.
This is our job. It's what we do.
In Mesa, Carissa Planup for Arizona's Family.
Well, this morning we are hearing the dramatic 911 call made by a woman who somehow ended up in a Mesa canal on Monday. It happened during this. Remember the scene, that powerful monsoon storm. The woman calls 911 as her car fills up with water. Dispatchers apparently had trouble trying to figure out exactly where she was.
Are you in the canal, in the water canal? Just hang coming. We've got everyone coming to help you. I just need you to be strong, okay?
Wow. Police and fire crews were able to get there on the scene. Cameras were rolling when she was pulled out from that car, that incredible moment. And thankfully, she is going to be okay. A Valley man is being...
Just hang tight. We've got everyone coming to help you. I just need you to be strong, okay? Just hang tight for just a few minutes.
That's the scary 911 call from a woman who was trapped underwater in that car in the Mesa Canal. She accidentally drove into the canal during Monday's monsoon storm. When fire crews arrived, they actually found no signs of life. They didn't realize that until that woman grabbed their legs underwater.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, take a closer look again. In this video, we now know her name, Kylie Kubal. She dove underwater to unbuckle the seatbelt before popping back up. And then at this point, or that was Kyle Kubar, I should apologize, that's the rescuer. He pops back up, and then there's a woman in his arms. The rescue happens pretty quickly, but Kubal says it really felt like a lifetime.
I haven't seen the portions of the video of that, but it definitely felt like I had been inside that car for quite a while before I actually found her, which I'm sure to her felt probably even longer.
Now, Kubal says he doesn't want to be called a hero. He was just doing his job. He says he and the rest of Ladder 201 were out there as they always are when they are needed.
Boy, seeing her body like that, looking lifeless as they brought her up and then saved her, it's just amazing. All right, don't be surprised to see her.
Aquí en este canal que está ubicado en Alma School, cerca de la autopista 202 en Mesa. Este fue el escenario de un heroico rescate, y es que la mujer se estaba sumergiendo con todo y vehículo en las aguas. Sin embargo, la rápida acción de los bomberos y también de buenos samaritanos hicieron la diferencia. Estos son los gritos desesperados de la mujer que junto a su vehículo se hundía en las aguas de este canal de Alma School cerca de la autopista 202. Apenas tuvo tiempo de llamar al 911 cuando el agua le llegaba hasta el cuello. Estoy atrapada, no puedo manejar, decía angustiada en este audio revelado hoy por las autoridades. El ruido del agua se escuchaba en la llamada y la operadora no entendía la ubicación exacta. Para su fortuna, esta buena samaritana pasaba por el lugar y fue ella quien se comunicó con la operadora del 911. Fue la parte más aterradora, dijo, ver el vehículo que se hundía y el reloj marchaba. El hecho ocurrió el lunes por la tarde en medio de la fuerte tormenta monzónica que azotó el este del valle. Los bomberos de Mesa tuvieron que actuar de inmediato porque su equipo especial para este tipo de situaciones estaba ocupado en otros asuntos relacionados con la tormenta.
Inmediatamente ellos se ponieron en los chalecos, la cuerda se metió adentro, él metió la mano y sintió que la señora le agarró la mano.
Esta mañana las autoridades de Mesa reconocieron la labor de más de 10 personas, tanto de los bomberos como operadores y civiles, que hicieron posible el rescate de la mujer de 71 años, residente de Goodyear, que todavía no ha sido identificada. Lo que todavía está bajo investigación es cómo fue que el vehículo fuera a parar al canal.
Eso nosotros no sabemos porque no es exactamente claro lo que pasó.
Nikki se siente afortunada de haber estado en el lugar y la hora precisa, algo que salvó la vida de la mujer. No tengo palabras, dijo, fue solamente una llamada telefónica. Por su parte, las autoridades recomiendan a los residentes del valle tener precaución principalmente durante las tormentas que no solo traen polvo, agua, sino que también confusión en las calles.
Entonces, si hay mucha agua, le pedimos que se saquen de la carretera, parqueen el carro y quédate ahí hasta que las condiciones se pongan mejor.
Y esta señora fue atendida en un hospital local solo por precaución. Ella se encuentra en perfectas condiciones de salud, aunque muy agradecida con los bomberos y también con los buenos samaritanos que la ayudaron. Reportando en vivo desde Mesa, Julio Cisneros, Noticiero Telemundo, Arizona.
Esta tarde continúa en recuperación la mujer cuyo auto cayó dentro de un canal en Mesa, cerca del Loop 202, a la altura de Alma School Road. Y hoy autoridades han hablado ante los medios y también los bomberos, así como testigos que estuvieron involucrados en el rescate. Liliana Salgado los entrevistó y nos acompaña con la historia. Liliana, buenas tardes.
¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes. Y quiero mostrarles, ya que aún se pueden ver las marcas de las llantas ahí en el lodo hasta llegar hasta el bordo. Fue ahí donde cayó la mujer al agua. Además se ve una parte de una ventana, no sé si lo puedan alcanzar a apreciar. Hablamos con el bombero que la rescató y la pareja que se percató de que había un auto en el agua. No puedo nadar, es lo que gritaba desesperadamente la mujer sumergida en el agua cuando hablaba con la operadora del 911. Gritaba desesperadamente. Para este punto ya han pasado 6 minutos de la llamada. La operadora le pide calma. Una unidad está en camino. De pronto, lo único que se escuchaban eran las súplicas bajo el agua. La operadora suena estresada y de repente se cuelga la llamada. Ya en la escena sucede lo que parece ser sacado de una película. El bombero Kyle Kubal la sacó con vida. Revisamos el auto y nos dimos cuenta que alguien estaba dentro. Nos enteramos que estaba viva y fue cuando la sacamos.
Porque cuando llegaron ellos, la llamada ya estaba desconectada, no sabía si todavía está la persona viva. Él se metió en la agua, metió su mano, inmediatamente la señora le agarró el brazo.
Estos novios fueron los primeros testigos en intentar ayudar antes de que llegaran los paramédicos. Siento que las cosas siempre suceden por una razón. No teníamos planeado conducir sobre la Alma School y si no hubiésemos tomado esa decisión, quién sabe qué hubiese pasado.